So we're here at the beautiful Hefe Cigar and Co. Right, New
Yeah,
Smyrna Beach.
yes, sir.
Uh, please introduce yourself and tell me one interesting fact.
One interesting fact
Yes, sir.
about me, or just about life?
About you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm TJ Ryan. I do real estate by trade. I'm a mortgage loan officer, and also do the real estate investing. So one interesting fact to me is I bought my first home I paid my first home off at 25.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think some people find that interesting.
I mean, of course, that's interesting. How do you do that?
Um, the way I went about it is I was like talking to one of my banker friends. He's like, when he talks to people about investing and what they do and how to create wealth, I kind of did it on accident. And so what I did was I lived off one paycheck for about 2 years,
Okay.
setting that money aside and putting all that money on my mortgage principal to pay
Yeah.
that house off. And so that created the avenue for me to pay that home off pretty quick. So I think it's interesting, but at the same time, I could have put that money in other places if I had known better. But sometimes you gotta be automated
Mm-hmm.
just to keep yourself regulated. That way, you're not spending your money other places because
Yeah.
it's going there automatically.
Yeah.
You dummy proof yourself,
Right.
and where you're not spending it. Hey, we're going out this weekend. We're going to DR. We're going. We find out here. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, I only got this money right here, so I got
Right.
enough money for food, gas, and get to work and get back.
Yeah.
And I got a little bit of fun, but not too much fun. So
Okay.
just being automated about it was really kind of helped me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know that you feel like you probably could have made other investments, but you have guys like John Hope Bryant who really believes that home ownership is the stairway or the catalyst to financial liberty
Mm-hmm.
especially for people of minority.
Yeah.
But for you, how did you get to real estate, and how did you get to or let's start with that. How did you get to real estate?
How did I get to real estate? I got to real estate growing up. I would go. I would go to. I grew up in Kansas City. I would go to St. Louis and go see my grandfather.
Yeah.
So my grandfather was always up to something. So he's one of the oldest black bail bondsmen in St. Louis, Missouri. He was always had real estate properties. He was always trying to find different avenues of income. And so I would go with him to go see his properties, not realizing I was like, okay, well, I'm thinking we're going to go see our cousin or something because a lot of the properties our family members are in. So
Yes.
I'm going to go play with my cousin. I realized he owned this house that we're going to go see. And so we picking up money, picking up income, picking up his money, his rent.
Yes, sir.
Not really realizing it. So, but at times too, I was like, man, who's that crazy lady? She coming over like, she got some money in her pocket. She's like, oh, Mr. Foster, I got you. She's giving some money out of her pocket. So I'm like, why did he get? It wasn't registering me that he was actually getting rent.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he had the relationships with people. We had built those relationships where they felt comfortable with him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me personally, I never go pick up some money from somebody, just seeing some of the stuff he dealt with. But at the same time, it was bail bondsman. So
Okay.
I literally, when I want to say 11 or 12.
Yes, sir.
He had somebody to jump bail.
Okay.
And so he knew where she was. I literally put the handcuffs on her.
Wow.
Yeah. He's like, you gotta go to jail. You gotta go back to jail. I'm gonna lose my money.
You 12-year-old dog the bounty hunter.
Yeah. So he did everything, man. So
Okay.
just seeing that and then realizing later on what he was up to,
Yes, sir.
I was like, oh, that makes sense, man.
Yeah.
Why not build some wealth, man? And then too, I got into it also because my brother's an attorney.
Okay.
And when he would go to court, they would have these, it's called auction.com.
Yes, sir.
And in the bottom of the courthouse, they were actually auctioning homes.
Okay.
At that time for like 15 to 20 grand, which is crazy right now. That same house probably go for like 100, 150,000 right now, maybe 200,000.
Yeah.
But he's picking up properties like little by little.
Yes, sir.
And so I saw him doing it. I was like, man, that's kind of interesting. So around that same time, I really got intrigued by it.
So your grandfather was in more like the property management side of real estate.
Well, yeah, he owned the properties too, but he was dealing with what they say a mom and pop.
Okay.
So he was the pop.
Okay.
And my grandma was the mom, and she hated every single tenant they had.
Yeah.
Everybody she had a complaint about. She's like, oh, they ain't pay their rent. They always got a story to tell. So I would always hear that from her. It's like, oh man, it sounds like a headache, but at the same time, though, I mean, any money that you accumulate is going to be a headache.
Yes, sir.
If you don't have a system in place.
That makes sense to me.
And that's something I've been on my own. I've been trying to mitigate, make sure I have systems in place where I don't have that. So I got like automated processes where I'm getting rent, where I don't have to see my tenants. But at the same time, I do like engaging with my tenants. I talk to people that I would actually be friends with or understand their story into my homes, where it's not too much risk with it. So,
But what would you say your expertise is, real estate wise? What's the thing that you could do with your eyes closed, or that you love doing, and
what I love doing is finding the right property.
Okay.
Looking at those numbers. And figuring out, okay, how do we make this work? All right, let's see if they'll take an offer 20% below value. All right, let's go like 3 or 4 of those out. Whichever one hits, it hits. And so sometimes that's backfired for me, especially actually the first time I bought I'll tell you about that. First time I bought some property.
Yes, sir.
It backfired on me. So
okay. Let me go ahead and get into it. Tell me a little bit about how you went about trying to structure that deal and what went wrong.
Yeah, well, the way it went wrong was, so after I bought my first primary, with the help of my family helped me out when I got out of college. So that's important too, because you can give your family, you can give them a home, but no, don't give them a home. Give them a down payment to buy a home. Okay, so you give them that down payment to buy the home. It gives them that responsibility. Hey, I need to take care of this property. This is on me now. Because you get somebody home, they're gonna take advantage of it. They're going there, mess it up, and not really appreciate it. But if you get somebody down payment for a home, okay, well, this is on me now. I got to take care of the maintenance, the expenses, and figure out what makes this home work. So a lot of people don't realize that. So that's a big value you can give to somebody. But I was working in my old company, and I traveled a lot for my job. So I'll be all over the country driving and whatnot. It was a sales job. And so during that time, I was in my vehicle a lot. And I used to call it my mobile university. So I would be on there listening to a podcast called Bigger Pockets.
Okay.
And on that podcast, it'd be like first-time home buyers, first-time investors, really, talking about their experience and what they had went through. I literally had a whole book of notes that I had taken notes and like everything they had talked about in there. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm ready to do my first deal. So one of the strategies they had talked about was buy a foreclosed home and buy a HUD home. And so I saw 2 of those in the neighborhood where I live. Okay. And so they're on the same block, same circle, and I put an offer in with an agent. And so I put that offer in the agent, and first one got accepted. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I had put, like I said, put in the offer in 20% below what they were asking. I was like, I did my strategies right, ran my numbers, everything looked good, and got accepted. I was like, okay, cool. So I got in the house. Okay, yeah, it's a little water down here. I can deal with that. That's not bad. I figured that, okay, we need to do some stuff down here to mitigate that. Yeah. And then I got a phone call from my agent. She's like, hey, so that, the other offer we put in, it got accepted too. I was like, oh, really? She's like, yeah, I need to know if you're going to take it in the next few hours. Yeah. I'm like, oh, shit. So at that point, I'm like, all right, I ran my numbers. My offers were both cash. Because I had taken a home equity line of credit on that home I had paid off. Yep. And I literally had the exact amount to buy both of those houses. Okay. Literally the exact amount to the 1,000 to buy both of those houses at the price point I had. So I ended up getting both those houses that day. Wow. So I bought 2 houses on accident on my first deal. So yeah. It worked out, man. I didn't know anything about electrical. Okay. So I got on YouTube, turned off all the power in the house, and I put an outlet in. I was like, I didn't get electrocuted, I didn't die. So yeah, I think I can do this. So,
sounds like a success.
Yeah, I was a YouTube general contractor, so I was just figuring it out, man. So I learned how to put down floors, learned how to paint better, because I was trash at paint. Luckily, my brother was pretty good. He painted in college, so I got to learn some tactics from him. And he'll come over every now and then, but hey, man, you need to do this, and then leave. But a lot of it was on me, man. So it was scary. It was scary. But at the same time, man, those homes, I mean, they still rent it right now, and
Yeah.
it makes pretty good income. So yeah.
Listen, what I thought you said, blow it up in your
Mhm.
face. I thought it meant like it failed, but that sounds like a happy accident.
It was a happy blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really a happy blessing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was scary though. I mean,
Yeah.
you go from no homes to two homes.
Yeah.
It's like having twins. You're like, oh, I thought you had one in there. What the other one doing back there hiding? He like, peekaboo, daddy, I need to eat too. You know? So,
Yeah. That's so funny.
yeah. So.
One of the things that really stands out to me is how much you talk about your family.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they've been very foundational to you. Like, what advice would you give to someone who may not have the same support from their family, but they have aspirations of building?
You know, if you don't have a family, make a family. Your family is who you hang around, who you value, who you put your time into, and they put the same thing back into you.
Yeah.
I mean, you may not be born with a good family. You may be a foster or adopted kid or whatever. You may not have that blood family, but at the same time, though, you can go out and network and meet great people. You can go out and find communities like Bigger Pockets or Facebook or something like that, and actually find people that are actually doing what you're trying to do, and that becomes your family because they're gonna feed into you. A lot of people in my position or similar positions, I'm still a baby in this pond,
Yeah.
but they still want to feed into you. They want to give you whatever they learn. Hey, I did this.
Mm.
Hey, I got, I went to Home Depot. I got a credit card over there. You need to do this. Don't come out of pocket of your own money. Make sure you're leveraging other people's money. So it's it's a lot of value in that. At the same time, though, family's nice, but you can definitely make your own family too. So
I love what you said there, building your own family.
mm-hmm.
I think that's probably really hard. What is, where did you find like solid people, mentors?
And so,
Yeah, where'd you look? Where'd you reach out?
well, a lot of times I've learned the more vulnerable you are, more open you are with people,
Mm-hmm.
the more they'll be attracted to you. And
Yeah.
so if I go out and say, hey, I wanna be a real estate investor. You say that to 10 people, somebody can be like, hey, I'm already doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I don't have any money to offer you, but at the same time, hey, I can provide the sweat equity. Hey, I'll come over there and help you paint one day.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of teach me what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because they're willing to do that because they can see that motive that you're motivated and want to get into it. So that's how a lot of these guys get started. These ladies get started. People get started in the field. It's just like, hey, I just want to come follow you one day. So that's what I mean. That's how a lot of people get started. So it's just a lot of people want to help feed into each other. So
Okay. Yeah. I want to kind of go back.
Okay.
Because your grandfather, man, it sounds like you had all these rich experiences with him.
Yeah.
That led you to this position. You know?
Yeah.
Outside of him, like showing you the industry or you being able to pick up those nuggets, what are some of the favorite pastimes that you may have did with him or your father or some of the males in your family?
Oh man, some fast times with my father. I mean, some of the best times I've had with my grandfather. Old people like doing old people stuff, so they like to chill. And so I've had some of the best times, me and my family, sitting at McDonald's at the church.
Yeah.
Just sitting, talking, and building, hear about the stories. Because I love, it's so much wisdom that you can gather from that. And I've always been attracted to wisdom. I'm like, well, if I don't have to make that mistake, if I can avoid that, shit, let me know. Let me drink that up. And so, I mean, it's just amazing stories. Like, hey, just hearing a lot of those stories from him was always amazing to me. And then my father too. Before I lost my father, about 12 years ago. But just the way he carried himself is something I've always taken from him. It's like, all right, well, everybody you talk to, listen to them. Don't talk over them. Try to be an asset for everybody you talk to. It's like, hey, I'm not trying to, you gather assets. You have money and tools like that and resources, but don't make people that, don't take from them. Try to give to everybody you talk to. And so, hey, how can I help you? How can I be an asset for you? What do you need? And so, and when you do that, people feedback into you in a genuine way, as opposed to you trying to, take advantage of them. And so that's one thing I really gathered from my father. Because I mean, I still my dad died 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm going back to Kansas City next week. People will still be, hey man, oh man, I miss your dad, man. He was a great guy. He came over here and fixed my fan for me. Yeah. He was the handy guy. He's like, all right, everybody at church, he was coming over here to fix the washer dryer. The belt on the dryer is broke. He'd come over here and fix that. So he was a great guy, man. I really miss that guy. And so I wish my son's 13. I wish he was here to really, to see him the way he moved, because he's a great guy. So, yeah.
What's so you mentioned your son.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is one of those quirks that you find yourself, or one of those phrases that you use that you can hear your dad as you say it to him?
It's not even phrases. It's just I just see the mannerisms.
Okay.
Yeah, I can just see the genuine nature he deals with his friends. Yeah. A lot of his buddies are like, oh man, Eli's coming. Yeah, Eli's coming. Eli's coming, and they're excited about him coming because he's the center of attention. And so I see that in him right now. And until he has a thirst for knowledge, which I really appreciate.
Okay.
He's always like, hey dad, because I set up a college savings fund when he was little, and I show him the money. We talk about money in my household. It's like, hey, if you get this full ride scholarship, like he's talking about right now, he's like, Dad, but I got in trouble last year. I'm like, all right, you can still get the full ride. You're in 6th grade.
Exactly.
It's not going to affect you in college, but he's still worried about that at this point. And so I'm like, all right, well, I got this college savings fund. We're going to take this and buy you a house over UCF, because he wants to go to UCF already, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Okay, we take that, buy you a house, man. You have your buddies come over here. He's like, oh, I can make rental income? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, man. I'm down with that, Daddy.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. But he's got that mindset already.
So he's almost the same kind of sponge you were, huh?
Yeah. And it surprised me because I see him on like YouTube. We be looking up videos. Like, hey, Dad, don't you do something similar like this? So, yeah, don't you give out like loans to people and stuff? I'm like, yeah, I do that. So, what kind of loan is that? And I just see the wheels turning, which is really dope. And so, man, it's just amazing watching him grow up, man. So I'm really proud of him. Him and my daughter, man.
Fast forward, say he comes to you and he's like, all right, Dad, I think I want to take over.
Mm-hmm.
How do you imagine that conversation going? And where do you think the business will be when that time comes?
I mean, hopefully I don't want him saying that. I want him to say, hey, Dad, I got this engineering firm. Hey, I want you to do a certain part, whatever I'm doing at that time, if I'm doing loans or whatnot. Hey, we're gonna be designing to structure these homes for people in a certain community. I'm like, okay, man, that's really dope. How can I help out? But at the same time, if he does want to come over here to the loan side and give out loans, it's cool too. I mean, he's got the brain for it too. So, but I see him more as a creative.
Okay.
And I can see him being more of like an engineer, because he's already he's watching engineering videos on YouTube and seeing what they do right now and trying to figure it out. So, but I think he's definitely wants rent. He wants tenants. He wants rental property. He understands all that, and he's like, all right, well, I want to be able to kind of cater my life to not having to not do something I don't want to do, where I have some free time with that, making money and helping people. So.
Okay, pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I want to shift gears.
Okay.
I want to talk more about the business.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, where can, say I'm a person and I want to engage with you, where can I find you? Are you on social? Do you have a website? What do you do?
Yeah. So it's I prefer Instagram for the most part. It's my main source, my main funnel right now is off of there.
Okay.
So it's TJ the Mortgage Guy. It's just on all platforms. It's real simple, so it's direct to the point, So.
Yeah. What do you say is the very first step to home buying?
First step is to check your credit score.
Okay.
So if your credit score is not like the best, find a friend, family, or colleague. So if you got a spouse and she's got he or she has a good credit score, you can put them on there. We're gonna take the average of those, but we're typically the lowest, but it'll help you with that process and make you look better on paper. And then also too, the next one would be looking at your income. So W-2 is great. If you got a W-2 job, that's always perfect. But we live in a gig economy right now, so a lot of people have multiple jobs. You may be Ubering or whatnot, but let's get you working and be working for a couple of years, maybe 2 years is ideal. Where you're looking at being able to buy at that point. And then two, also assets. So let's put some money aside and save some money, just to make sure you got enough money, assets coming in. So if you got retirement plans at your job, make sure you're maxing those out. Most of those are doing like 6%. Make sure you're maxing that match out, that 6% match out. Also, too, if you got stocks or bonds or whatnot, make sure you're saving as much money as possible. So, CIA, as we call it, credit, income, assets, is usually the first three things you want to look at and make sure those are in place.
If you don't mind, would you expound a little bit on the automation process you were talking about? What is that? You were saying when you went to make your first deal, you were able to do that because you automated.
Automated?
I'm assuming the money, your paychecks. You didn't see where the money was going. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I had mine automated because I was paying my mortgage.
Okay.
And so I will pay additional on principal. So whatever, let's say your mortgage is like $500 a month.
Okay.
I was putting $1,500 a month in there to make sure that money was automatically going there out of my paycheck. So I wouldn't even see that money.
Okay.
The only thing I'm viewing is the money that's left over after my automated, basically automated investments are in place.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't do that, and then you try to do it after the fact.
Okay.
And you're seeing, all right, I made $3,000 a month. I'm gonna try to live off $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Now, you need to be living off $1,000 a month.
Right.
And all the other stuff is going to completed investments or whatever piece they may be to the mortgage or retirement accounts, your IRAs or whatnot.
Okay.
So any job nowadays has a retirement account you need to take advantage of, at least max out, and then look at maybe some more index funds or something like that after that. So.
Okay. I appreciate you indulging me in that because I was interested when you said that. I was like, okay. So instead of me saying I got this whole check, I need to say, okay, I got a fraction of this, but instead of trying to manually move the money, go ahead and set up those moves before.
That's the trap. That's the trap. Yeah, because you see that full meal, you ready to eat.
Yeah.
No, you need to portion control. Yeah. You just need to see the main meal, the dessert, and all the appetizers don't need to be seen on that plate. So just focus on what you see. Yeah.
So we talked about your son, but I'm assuming that him and his homeboys come around sometimes.
Yeah.
Say they are like, hey, I'm trying to get my first investments. TJ, like, what's 3 things that you would mention to them that they need to focus on first?
The first 3 things they need to focus on is getting a good job. Like I said, W-2 is king.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize they see the flash of like being a YouTube celebrity, a streamer, or whatnot. I mean, that's 0.0002% being an NBA player. Most people just need to get a steady income coming in.
Yeah.
If you got steady income coming in, W-2, when lenders are looking at that, they see stability. They like stability, and so if you have stability in there with a W-2 or something like that, like I said, you have those things, those saving platforms in place for you where you can go ahead and put that money aside. And so that good income is the best way to start right there. Go to school and get a good job. That's first off.
Yeah.
In your job, make sure you're saving up money for a down payment for your first house.
Yeah.
You definitely want to get your first house. Once you get that first house, you can start renting that out to your buddies and your friends that ain't got no job. Well, hopefully got a job, but they ain't smart enough to buy a house or can't buy a house.
Yeah.
So rent that out and get enough friends in there where they're paying your mortgage off for you, which is really nice. And then two, make sure that you're saving some money on the side, whether it be in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. So that money's gonna grow at like 10-15%, which would be really nice. And that way you have an investment vehicle in place.
Okay. Cool. Steady income. If you can, save up or pool your money to buy your first house. Use that to rent it out, and then invest.
Exactly.
All right. Sounds like a clear path
Yeah,
to success for me.
yeah.
Sorry, I got another scenario for you.
Mm-hmm.
25 years old, I just run into a large sum of money. How would you convince me to invest in a property rather than going to buy, like going to splurge on something nice?
I mean, if you let's say you're 25 years old and let's give you like 100 grand, right?
Yeah,
You're gonna want to spend that money.
yeah,
That's fine.
yeah.
Put that in like a high yield savings account. There's certain places where you can take that money. Maybe like there's an app called M1 right now. You can take that money, put that whole money in there, put it on stocks. Okay, put in index funds, preferably index funds like that. And so that money, that 100K, you can actually borrow off of that, the equity in that money, right?
Yeah.
And so they'll give you, say, 40 grand that you can actually use. So that money's in place, growing at like 10 or 15%. But you can still be able to take that money out, stake a line of credit on that money, and buy something else with.
Very cool.
And so you got that 10 or 50% growth over here,
Mm-hmm.
and you're pulling that money out and buying some additional property or rental property, buying your personal home, and so that's what I would tell them to do, because a lot of people are going to want to spend it, and so spend it in the right place, and that way you still have some money to play with, but it's still growing for you. So you got an automatic investment piece right there.
Yeah.
And so with that, you can buy a rental, buy your first house, do what we talked about before with house hacking.
Yeah.
So you got 3 of your buddies in a 4-bedroom, you staying in 1 bedroom. I would say rent out all 4 rooms, sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But some people don't want to do that, so they're gonna have 1 bedroom for themselves, the rest for their buddies. That mortgage paid off, and so at that point, you living for free.
Yeah.
And then you're still saving money. You're buying up for that next investment property. So, but I mean, also too, I mean, you don't have to buy an investment property. You can invest in tax deeds. You know, some other vehicles out there. But I would just say, just try to invest as much as you possible, because it's about legacy, like Jay-Z said. So, at that age, at 25, 26, you got to be thinking about the future. And then two, I mean, what's cooler than bringing, a young lady to your house as opposed to your mama's house in the basement, but you got a nice car outside, you know? Oh, you balling. Oh, you got the nice car though? Okay, cool. But you ain't got nothing to show for it. Yeah. Yeah, you can ride around that car all day, get you a nice, I don't even know what $100,000 car. I'm not a car guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy a $100,000 car. That's stupid, but you can.
Yeah.
And look cool, but you ain't got nowhere to stay.
Right.
Yeah. And so that money and that car is not going to be bringing you more. It's a depreciable asset. I mean, it's not making you money. You want to buy things to make you money, buy assets to make you money. So I would have that conversation with that guy. Yeah. But still though too, if you have that home, you still have some money to play with. You still be able to travel or whatnot, but you be living for free, and everything's still growing. That house is building equity. Those index funds are making you money, and at the same time, you still have some additional money coming in from. Hopefully, you still got a job at 25. Yeah, still working. Yeah, and so you're still saving up money too, and still having a good time. So.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But as a young person, man, you want to be where the action is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So say I went and I rented a place downtown, and I'm trying to transition now to like being in a homeowner. Like, what kind of additional responsibilities am I taking on by being in a rental place versus, being in my own home versus being in a rental place?
All right. So you are going from. Well, the thing too, you can buy a condo.
Okay.
Buy a condo.
Yeah.
Don't rent a condo. Yeah. Buy a condo. I mean, there's gonna be some condo fees and some other association fees associated with that. There may be somewhat of a headache, but at the same time, you got your doorman. You don't have to deal with a yard or anything like that. You get a nice spot downtown. That's still going to be an appreciable asset. That's still going to make you money, right? Okay. Yeah. So you can still be in a cool part of town. You hang out with your homies and whatnot. You got the nice restaurants and bars downstairs. You can see the ladies and whatnot, but at the same time, you own your spot. So ownership is where it's at over rent. So yeah. So because you're not ready to make that transition. You got the fenced in yard and the HOA. You got to cut the grass and all that. Okay, if you're not ready for that yet, buy a nice spot. Condo downtown or wherever you want to be, where it's happening, and make that happen. But buy it though. You know,
Yeah.
so find a good deal, find a good agent,
Yeah.
find a good lender, and do that. So yeah, that's fine.
So you've given us so much wisdom. I want to kind of demystify the process of,
Okay.
say I reach out to you,
Yeah.
I hit you up on Instagram. I'm like, listen, I really want to work.
Mm-hmm.
What does that process look like?
Well, step one, I mean, we're going to talk about what are your goals, aspirations, and dreams right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be downtown where it's cool? Do you want a home in the suburbs? What do you want to do? So we're going to talk about that and kind of cater that dream into you. So then we're going to look at everything we talked about before. Okay, where are you working at? Is it a good job for you? Do you have 2 cars that you're paying for right now?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get rid of one of those cars.
Yeah.
You only can drive 1 car at a time and figure out where you're wasting money at.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how many Hulu accounts are you paying for right now? How many Netflix accounts you got? Why you got 3 Amazon Primes?
Right.
Yeah, that you can share passwords. You don't have to be spending all this extra money, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to go on every single guy's trip right now.
Yeah.
So it's really about learning to live under your means. Because people are living over their means right now. They're maxing out credit cards. They're trying to, live like everybody else instead of living like they should be right now at this time and save that money. Yeah. So, because I mean, saving's not cool, but that's how you become wealthy. Is saving that money. Because you if you're spending more than you're worth, you're losing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So.
What's the best nightlight tip you have for someone who is trying to save?
Oh, I figured that out.
Yeah.
I figured out the hack. It's called networking events.
Okay.
So networking events, you get free drinks, you get free food, you get free access to people that are doing things right now. You meet some amazing people that do amazing work. And so that's the biggest nightlife hack I would say right now, because the networking events are where it's at. Because you go to all the hottest spots, do the coolest things for free 99. Yeah. So you can't beat that. I mean, it may be some minimal fee, but if you've been networking enough, you know the guy at the door, and they tell you to come on in because they want you in there. Yeah. But have you met this guy yet? Oh, this guy does this. And those connections are built pretty quick, and so that's valuable. So yeah, that would be my number one tip right now for the nightlife. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I've really asked you all the questions I have, but there's one thing that I would like you to indulge me in, if that's okay.
Okay.
The way I like to usually wrap up is I want you to think about the next big milestone, the next big level up.
Okay.
That you're planning to achieve.
Yeah.
You close your eyes, and when you're ready, I want you to congratulate the future self on achieving that goal.
Hey there, TJ. I want to congratulate you for you are building homes right now for people that need homes. You are helping them become homeowners. You've built a whole community at this point of homeowners, people that thought they couldn't buy homes that are living in homes now, and you help them create that future for them and change their lives and their whole legacy. Good job.
One more time, tell the people who you are and where to find you.
All right, I'm TJ the Mortgage Guy. TJ the Mortgage Guy on all platforms.
We want to thank Hefe Cigar & Co. for hosting us this afternoon.
Yeah.
It's been incredible.
Yeah.
Mr. TJ, thank you and continued success to you.
All right, appreciate you.